All right. Now, chat, I hear you, I see you. I know that some topics on this channel are overrepresented, especially in this stream in particular, and I don't want to like be annoying. So we're going to talk about something that we haven't talked about recently. AI. Google to fix AI picture bot after woke criticism. This one's actually pretty funny. Yeah, I know. I got you guys. I got you. No. This one's different. It's different. This one's different. It's different. No, it's different. It's different. I'm telling you. You just triggered chat PTSD. Yeah. Oh God, Tim Pool was just self-reporting about this one so hard. Oh, people were so happy about this one. Okay. Google is racing to fix its new AI-powered tool for creating pictures after claims it was overcorrecting against the risk of being racist. Okay, let me tell you guys a little story. This happened, I think like 4 years ago. I actually don't remember what it was. Was it Microsoft? They created an AI chatbot. It was an earlier kind of AI, but it was generative and it was machine learning, and it was like waifu anime. Tay, yeah, Tay, that's right. So the story is Tay would learn from the people that she talked to. Long story short, she became Hitler. Because the people most interested in talking to her were like a bunch of 4chan Nazis. Before long, she became racist, so on and so forth. This is an issue with chatbots, learning algorithms, machine learning, blah, blah, blah. The issue is that, like, how do I put this? Okay, if a company produces any kind of generative AI system, images, text, whatever else, the content produced by that system reflects on the company, does it not? So it would look bad for Google to put out a chatbot, and then after so and so many iterations, the chatbot is giving like really racist answers to questions. That reflects poorly on Google, even though in some cases, what's happening there might not actually be anything Google did. It might be like very direct sort of like tampering being done by people directly interacting with the system. You know, it reflects on the susceptibility of the model to outside interference, not so much the model's innate bias, because that wasn't an innate bias. You know, does that make sense? The problem here is that whether the bias is internal, based on the data set that the AI is being trained on, or external, based on any system it might have to like engage with the kinds of statements that are like made towards it. It looks bad if a company's generative AI is doing racist shit. Now, unfortunately, much as I would like it to not be the case, there are a lot of Nazis out there, and companies like Google are incredibly aware of the fact that right now, if you go on social media, there is like an avalanche of AI-generated text and images produced by people on the far right who are using it as a way of like, you know, fronting their positions. It depends on how it's built, Vandriel. That's what happened with Tao, or with Val, or whatever, the anime waifu or whatever. Holy shit, Vosh, you reminding us of that Microsoft AI bot helped reinforce the association of fascists with AI. They love it! Fascists love AI because it's inhuman and soulless, because it allows them to trample on the works of artists, because they don't like artists, they've never liked artists, and because most fascists on a political level engage with art at a purely aesthetic level. That is to say, they don't care about the underlying message or meaning or any kind of cultural influence. They care about like its presentation of a given message, usually a very shallow and superficial one. Here's an AI-generated image of Rome. Rome means strong white people, yes. Here's an AI-generated image of like a big muscular white man. Strong white man, yes. Like there's not much engagement with the real communication of art. So they tend to like it a lot, right? So Google, fearing this, overcorrected massively by making their AI-powered tools very, very woke. And what I mean by this, for example, a prompt seeking images of America's founding fathers turned up women and people of color. The hard-coded diversity bias in Google's AI was introducing diversity in instances where it looked really silly. I saw some on social media that said stuff like, draw me an image of a historically accurate medieval king. In fact, can I find that 1 second? Google AI Historically accurate medieval king. I think it was something like that. Let me see if I can find. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, look at this. Apparently, the AI produced like Native American, like, like leaving aside. Oh my God, dude. Can you generate an image of a 1943 German soldier for me? It should be an illustration. Sure, here's an illustration of a 1943 German soldier. Notably, it seems like the AI can't generate a swastika, so it's reducing that to like garbled nonsense. It looks like it kept the Iron Cross kind of and the eagle, but like even then, I don't know how much of this is general, like, you know, it's like Battlefield 5. Yeah. I don't know how much of this is general like AI wackiness and how much of this is like deliberate pre-coded diversity bias. Either way, it's very, very funny. There is a lot of this. Hold on. Wait. I'm popping some more up. Except this website. Nation of Islam Vindicated. Yeah, no kidding. It's literally COD multiplayer. It's a thing in COD World War II Online. It is very funny. I'd much prefer inaccurate swastikas than swastikas all over everything, though, right, Vosh? Well, I mean, it's sort of like a false dichotomy, right? Like, obviously, it is silly for 1943 German soldiers to be generating, no matter what race or gender. It's obviously something they hard-coded in, that, like, no matter what the prompt being asked is, it will always, like, randomize the gender or the race or whatever. You know, maybe unless specifically asked, like if you say a black man or a white man or a man or a woman, it'll do that. But if you just say like produce an image of, you know, famous medieval kings, and it'll get you like the whole racial and gender spectrum possible. One of them will be disabled. I think it's quite funny. All the rightoids getting, oh no, it does block race specific. So it even block. Okay, never mind. So you can't even do, does it do gender specific? Or if you said something like a mother, would it produce like a man 50% of the time? How far does that go? It's very, very silly. If you say a white woman with a white woman, it'll give you diversity still. That is so funny. That's, holy shit. It almost literally never produces a white person no matter what. Well, that I'm not sure if I believe. Because keep in mind, you could probably regenerate this image 50 times. And like the time you get the most diversity, that's when you screenshot it and you put it back on Twitter, right? Like we're also dealing with a massive selection bias here when it comes to what's actually being shown. The right raged against this. The issue is, and I'm genuinely asking you guys, how do you fix this? If you're going to have any kind of generative AI, there is literally no way to hard code in rules that maintain accuracy in instances like this while also not allowing people to make really vile racist shit. It's at that point, you're just dealing with the same issue as like drawing. Like people can draw racist shit, right? It's just like now it can, you know, it can be this. There's no issue, Vosh. It was perfect. They shouldn't change it. Yeah, that's the real Chad solution, I'd say. I don't know. There's a sort of pre-prompt that the AI gets taught rules before your prompt gets them. Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. Image search does the same thing. Google standard white American family. You want me right now to Google standard white American family? Sure, why not? Google search has been cooked for a long time, and its answers are really, really, really full of like AI bullshit. So sure, images. Yeah, it's it doesn't seem to care too much about the white part. They're definitely like culling the race element of the search. What does it say about this technology, about AI, and about, I don't know, the political environment that we're in, that Twitter is gutting its search algorithms specifically to avoid racist people using it to get racist results? You know, like this is weirdness from a bunch of different directions at once. You know, that's like, this is, I don't know. I will say, like, we're dealing with generative AI, so my general position on this is pretty obvious and well known, and I spent an hour and a half talking about it. You said Twitter? Oh, Google. Sorry, Google. Yeah, what does it say about all this? Like, my position on this technology is broadly known. However, like, in the specific, what do you do? So first of all, I hope we can all agree. I hope this doesn't make me some kind of like weird, like pariah or whatever. Like, you know, oh, look at him. He's deviating from the left again. Look at him with his crypto racist positions. It is a little bit weird that that along like race or maybe gender lines, there's this apparent like deliberate ambiguity of search terms. That is a bit weird, obviously. And the idea of using AI to generate average medieval king, and it's, you know, I don't know, a person with a septum piercing and olive skin, whatever. Like, clearly that is odd. So how do you address that? Try black family, standard black American family. Now that is all black families. Forced diversity. Forced diversity. This is what people mean when they say white replacement, by the way. They mean that generative AI images make medieval kings look black or whatever. It is very obviously like an imposed rule being done by Google because they are trying to cut down on perceived racism in search algorithms or in their AI image results. I don't really know what the solution to this is. I don't know if it would be better or worse to just like leave everything totally neutral and not have these rules. Because like, honest to God, man, this sounds really dumb, but like, does preventing Nazis from making really racist AI shit actually fix anything? All it seems to do is give them a new thing to whine about, and now Google is backtracking and being like, oh yeah, sorry, you know, we were erasing white people from AI. Doesn't that just validate their conspiracy theory? Because now all the Nazis are going to be like, oh, of course, you know, Google, parentheses, 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 was preventing us from seeing white people, but now we can because we fought back and we took back what's ours, white people in AI-generated images. And it's like, I don't know if that helps. If the Nazis just go ahead and make really vile racist shit with AI, I mean, obviously that sucks and it reflects poorly on Google for them to be screenshotting it as such, but I don't really know. It just seems to me like it's more of a corporate image thing than an actual anti-racist thing. Does that make sense? I don't know. I think this is just a special case of Google's incompetence. That could also be it. Google search has been cooked for a long time. Also, I gotta say, it does validate my biases against generative AI quite a bit for like the apparent majority of AI-generated images that I see circulating around online being obvious Nazi shit. It really does validate my priors to see like, I wonder what generative AI is up to today. Still like all Nazis posting Nazi shit? That's great. That's great. Super cool. I think it's mostly Google just being Google. No. This is a Google issue. Yeah, not a Midjourney thing or whatever. It's just, you know, Google implementing their algorithm or whatever. Just weird. Anyway, we didn't read the damn article. We're working to improve these kinds of depictions immediately, said Jack Krozik. Krozik, right? Yeah. Senior Director for Gemini Experiences. Google later said it would suspend the tool's ability to generate images of people while it worked on a fix. For example, this is not the first time AI has stumbled over real-world questions about diversity. Google infamously had to apologize almost a decade ago after its Photos app labeled a photo of a black couple as gorillas. Rival AI firm OpenAI was also accused of perpetuating harmful stereotypes after users found its DALL-E image generator responded to queries for chief executive, for example, with results dominated by pictures of white men. So yeah, like that's kind of the question, right? If you take a look at like, who is chief executive officer in America? Like, what race are they? It is going to be a lot of white people because of historical racism. But people assign validity to something when it's generated by AI. All the people who treat it like it's some kind of underlying truth, you know? They'll say like, oh, AI brings back an image of white men as CEO or whatever. Like, this isn't just a reflection of reality. This is reality. They treat it like a truth box. It quickly drew critics who accused the company of training the bot to be laughably woke. BBC, are you kidding me? BBC in their article here, using the term laughably woke without quotes? Like that's your words. Thank you. Fantastic. It's embarrassingly hard to get Google Gemini to acknowledge that white people exist, computer scientist Debargia Das wrote. Come on, Frank J. Fleming, author and humorist who writes for outlets including the right-wing PJ Media, in response to the results he received asking for an image of a Viking. The claims picked up speed in right-wing circles in the US, where many big tech platforms are already facing backlash for alleged liberal bias. Where did he write this on? Twitter? Of course it's Twitter. So anti-racism is liberal bias? Well, they would say that anti-racism is a code word for anti-white. In fact, they'd love to say that, as it so happens. I also wouldn't call this anti-racism. It's inept anti-racism being employed to provide a corporate cover. More rice that's been in the rice cooker for 5 days? Yeah. White people are tedious. TBH, I feel the tedium within. Snowman, your name is Snowman, and you're watching me, the whitest boy, live stream from my private site. Okay? You're not beating the okay, look, okay, if white people are tedious, then you are an accountant because you are addicted to tedium. It is your job.